I took my
Damn.
dog. I was doing spots in Dallas and I got an Airbnb. So I
Okay.
took him with me, and this place had like a backyard with a big tree. And we're just like hanging out in the backyard, and then a squirrel, like these two squirrels were fighting up in the tree. He's always chasing after squirrels and stuff.
Okay.
These two squirrels were fighting up above us in the tree, and he didn't even realize it, and then one of them fell down directly in front of him. So a squirrel just lands right in front of him, and
No.
he like doesn't even know what to do. He just looked at me at first, he just went and he just killed it.
Oh
And
no.
he's like white. So he's like a mutt, but he's mostly like a coonhound.
Okay.
So he's always wanted to do this. He's bred to want to do this. He's never gotten to do shit in his life. And he
Damn.
finally, it was like he won the fucking lottery.
Fuck.
And then so he did it, and then he immediately turned to me. He was so stoked. He's like the happiest he's ever been. But he's a pure white dog covered in blood now. He looks like a murderer.
Damn.
It was terrifying because there were other people. It was like an Airbnb where it's like one big house divided into like 4 units, you know? So there were like other people like with their like little like roller suitcases coming up, and I'm like,
Oh
"Hi, this is
no.
Momo," and he's covered in blood.
Oh my God. That's so funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen like that happen. I've heard that one of my dogs might have done something like that, but like I don't know for sure and I didn't see it happen. But I think they all would if they had the
Yeah. I
opportunity.
think they
And
should get more chances to.
yeah,
Recently, all 3 of them got a possum. Like, I
True.
went in the back, I heard like some crazy commotion, and I went back there, and all of them had their mouth on the same possum, pulling it in different directions.
Fuck.
Then my dog got it away from the other 2 and went to the corner of the yard, and I like had to scream at her to drop it. She dropped it, and I took a picture of the possum because it was just dead. I thought.
No, it wasn't.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
it was playing possum. It stayed there pretending to be dead, and then I got the dog back in the house and went back, and it was gone.
Yeah, it was
I had like a
scary.
similar thing where I didn't see it happen, but there was my dog brought up the same dog, like my parents' dog. He brought up what we thought was a dead possum up to the back door. And we're
Okay.
like, fuck. So we're like, okay, come in here. No one's gonna get around you for a while. Here's a bunch of here's like a new bowl of water. Clean your shit out. And then we're like, oh, like an hour later, I went out there to like clean it up, and it was gone.
Wow.
Because they have like their skin is like loose, so if you can pull it and shit and like bite into it, and then you don't hit any organs or anything.
Weird.
So like they just like they're like, yeah, you killed me. You got
They're
it.
just made for that.
Literally playing tug of war with it. Like,
Dude,
all
that's
of them had
fucking
it.
crazy.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it had to be dead.
It was scary. It had a scary face.
Oh.
It had like big teeth and like sharp
Yeah.
teeth and shit. I was just like, oh my
Possums
God.
are the shit though. Possums are cool because they're immune to rabies.
Really? That's
Yeah,
good.
They're
Okay.
immune to rabies, so like you don't have to be like as afraid as most things with
That's
them, you know?
really good.
And they're immune to rabies, and a lot of the stuff that they kill are like, oh fuck, what was it? They kill oh goddamn, I was reading a whole thing about it because like the stuff that they do kill is stuff that you don't want around in the
Really?
first place. So it's like they can't
Snakes?
really fuck with you, and yeah, and the stuff that they kill is just like it's beneficial.
That's cool. Are you from Texas?
No, but I'm from the South.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
from just south of Memphis, Tennessee, but in Mississippi.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm from Mississippi.
I'm from the north. I'm from like northern Maine.
Oh,
So very
way-
different
as
place.
north as you can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically kind of
Sick.
Canada. Not Canada, but very close.
Yeah, I imagine that I'm like, so the part of Canada you would be close to would be like where Trailer Park Boys are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
close. I've never been there, but like I love Trailer Park Boys,
Yeah.
and that would actually, I think that'd be fun to
What
go.
is that, like Nova Scotia?
Yeah,
think
like
they're in Nova
Halifax,
Scotia,
I think,
yeah.
is where they're at.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I wanna go
Halifax,
there.
Nova
I
Scotia,
think
yeah.
where she's from is kind of like on the border of Montreal, right?
Yep.
Oh shit, okay. Yeah, I've been to Montreal. I've been like I drove up through like years ago I went to like JFL, and I drove up, it was like I went from Boston and like road tripped up there, and it was so fucking weird because it's
Mhm.
like you start off in Massachusetts, and then you're just like in like Vermont for most
Yeah.
of it, and then all of a sudden you just come to a stop. You're just in the woods, normal woods, and you just come to a stop, and then this guy just interrogates you in French. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's such a weird experience.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, that's going to happen, but it's just so weird because it's like, I've been to other parts of Canada too, and most of the rest of Canada feels like you're just in, you know, I mean, you know, it's a different country, but it's not very different than the US.
Right.
Like, you noticing it. But Montreal specifically,
So French.
Yeah, it feels very European, even in just like the vibe of the city outside the language. It's
Yeah.
strange.
It's
Culture
like
change.
I remember in high school we had to take like a foreign language that we'd either do Spanish or French, and I did French because I was like, they're always speaking in public, and I never know what they're saying. Like the people who would come over from like Canada, and they would always speak French, and I'd be like, are they talking about me? So I took it so I'd figure it out. But I guess like
Were they talking about you?
I don't know because I didn't. First of all, I didn't do a great job. Didn't pay attention that much. Could never really understand it. Knew like 3 words.
Yeah.
But also like they speak a different kind of French. Like it's
That checks out.
like I guess people in France hate it when they hear it. They're like disgusted because it's not correct or something.
I
But
guess it's like the difference between like us hearing British people talk.
probably,
Right.
yeah. But
Couple
you
100 years removed.
do you have an accent?
I don't know. Do I?
Not that I can hear, but like, did you have an accent when you were younger?
Not really. My parents are from like opposite part. Well, my dad moved around a lot, but he's like from the South.
Okay.
But he like, and then my mom's from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
So
okay.
like my mom's from Pittsburgh. My dad, when he was a kid, was like in Arkansas and Texas and Louisiana and stuff. And then he ended up in Pittsburgh in like high school.
Oh, okay.
But I guess just because they both have, now my mom doesn't really at all, but I guess when she was younger, she still had kind of a Pittsburghy accent. And
Interesting.
then my dad has somewhat of a Southern accent, but like not super thick.
Really?
But
Okay.
I guess just because I didn't choose one or the other, I just ended up kind of neutral sounding.
I have like a really similar situation because my parents weren't from
Yeah, you don't
Maine.
sound like Craig.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
because my family's not from there. Like they
Okay.
moved there because my dad was in the military and he got stationed there. But he had a New York accent and like Long Island, New York accent. And my mom
Nice.
had like a Southern accent because she was from, I think like Florida, but like near Alabama. And
Yeah.
she still does
That's
have that
where we
accent.
vacation.
You would go there?
Everyone in the South.
Really? Yeah.
Everyone,
Like Destin?
Yeah, like,
I like
Destin,
Destin.
Gulf Shore, Seaside, Panama City Beach, Perdido Key, like
Mhm.
that whole area is like anyone from like the surrounding like 150 miles where I'm from. That's the only place anyone goes to, or more than that, like
Oh, wow.
500 miles where I'm from. That's where everyone just goes because that's the closest like beach you can get to.
Interesting.
That doesn't suck ass.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because I guess you could go straight down and go to like Biloxi, but it's disgusting.
I've
So,
never
like,
been there.
Yeah.
I've only been to Destin
Yeah.
and a beach in Sarasota.
Those are the 2 beaches you've been into in your life?
Well, in
Oh,
Florida.
in Florida. I thought you were going to say in your life. I'm like,
No,
where are you
Maine
from? Fucking
has
Maine?
like a lot of beaches, like so we would go there a lot.
It's such a different thing though, because
It's different, yeah.
I grew up going to those beaches, like, you know, in the summer it was like the vacation we took every year.
Yeah.
It was like every summer you go for like 1 week to Destin or something like that. And then when I was like 20, I was in a band and we were playing in Providence.
Mhm.
And so it was the first time I've been up in like New England, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go to the beach," and I went to the beach, and it was cool, but I was like, "Oh, this is such a different thing.
It's so
It's
different, yeah.
fucking freezing.
Yes.
The waves are bigger. It's rocky and like not comfortable.
Depending on the one you go to.
It seems. I mean, even then though, even like the one that was still really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it was like just I'm like, oh, the beach is where you go, and there are airbrush T-shirts and people
Yeah.
on boogie boards, and
There
like,
is a beach like that in Maine called Old
Okay.
Orchard Beach, and
Okay.
it's like a trashy beach. Not saying that
Just
yours
calling me
are,
trashy.
but like it's like a trashy beach in Maine, but like the sand is the softest there.
Hell yeah.
And it like isn't as great as Florida, but and the water is cold, but like there's certain areas, and Popham Beach is like really pretty and has very nice soft sand.
Hell yeah.
But there's like 2. I
We
mean, or
went to
there's
this
maybe more,
place-
but I don't know.
We went to this place in Rhode Island it was like a private beach that we just like snuck onto or something.
Mhm.
But it was this area called like Little Compton. That's like it's such a weird name, but it's like you get there and it's like the most expensive. Like it's not fuck. Why can't I think of the name of the famous like island off of Massachusetts, like Nantucket.
Okay.
It has that look, you know. It's like that like little New England like houses, like cottages by
I
the
love
ocean.
that,
I mean,
yeah.
it's so sick.
Yeah.
And you like we just like all snuck through someone's backyard. And we're on this just beach.
Oh my
And
god.
we went to this. It was like a giant boulder in the ocean, but that had steps like carved into it.
Oh my gosh.
And I say giant. It wasn't like it stuck out like 15 or 20 feet.
Okay.
and there were steps like carved into it up to the top, and at the top, bolted into it, there was a giant diving board.
What?
And it was just like, and there were signs like from like the park commission of the town being like, this rock is closed after these hours, and it was just a fucking rock.
What the
It's not like
fuck?
there was there's no way to sit, but they were just like, the
That's
rock is not
amazing.
operational right now.
I've never
kind of
heard of
things.
anything like
It was
that.
crazy. It was so cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That makes me think of like this weird thing I heard. Like, it's obviously different because like they know about it and they have like a plaque on it. But have you ever heard about like if you're in the woods and you see a set of stairs that don't lead to anything, you should never go on them?
I've never heard that, but I think that's what I would assume if I came
Because
across it.
people go missing. I learned this on TikTok, so it's definitely true.
Wait, what's the so is the concept is like if wait, when you say a set of stairs that go nowhere,
like it looks like a house maybe was there and then the stairs are there, but there's no house anymore.
and what happens if you go up it?
I think the
Is
idea
it's like a portal?
yeah, you switch dimensions.
Oh.
So just so you
What
know,
to do with what he was saying?
Yeah,
just hearing about the
though.
stairs in the ocean at first I was like, oh no, are those like scary?
Oh, if I went up the stairs and like jumped off the diving board and then I never hit the water, I just
Yeah.
vanished.
It'd be cool.
It'd be pretty
That's
sick.
actually what would have happened.
Yeah, it could have happened, dude.
I don't know. I just like to be scared of like things, and that just
Sure.
like gives me another thing. If I'm ever in a situation hiking or something, I can just be like, oh, I'm not doing that. You know,
Gotcha.
that's danger. I
Are you
like
lo-
your shoes. Those are like really cool.
Thank you. Thank
You should get some like that. Are they skateboard shoes?
They are. I haven't skateboarded in years, but I like the shoes.
I like the color too. They're like turquoise. or-
Yeah, I got these
green.
I got these from No Comply Skate Shop. Go there, folks.
Nice.
It's cool.
Is that the collab that they did?
No, those ones are sick,
Yeah.
but those ones were sold out when I went there. I went there for those, but then they had these, and I was like, all right, these are still cool.
So what did you play in a band, or are you in a band still?
I'm not in a band currently, but I still play music all the time. Like you met my girlfriend Kira. She plays drums a little bit.
What? That's so
and,
cool.
she's like learning, so it's been cool because it's like most of my life I've been in a band, and when I'm not, I feel like a void. But
Whoa.
it is cool because I can I go over to her place, and then she has a 2-bedroom, but she's the only one there, and the
Yeah.
other bedroom is like she works from home a lot of times, so it's like her office, but she has like a
Okay.
drum set and stuff in there. So I'll just go
What?
over there and we'll just jam all the time, like because it's like
Damn.
helping her learn, but it's also like just fun for me because I haven't.
Do
Yeah, I
you
don't
play
get-
Yeah.
bass when you do that?
I play guitar and bass, so
Okay.
like
This is like a White Stripes situation.
sure it could be, yeah. But
That's
yeah,
so
no,
cool.
I usually play guitar when we're doing it just to like fill it out a little more. But like,
Mhm.
but I have played bass whenever we've done it. Most of I spent my time in bands like half and half between guitar and bass. So I'm
Interesting.
kind of equally. Well, right now I'm probably more comfortable with guitar just because it's more fun when you're alone to play guitar. Than
True.
bass.
It's not quite a White Stripe situation because he said just his girlfriend, not his girlfriend and his sister.
Well,
Exactly.
that's
I was at
that's
the
a
White Stripes last
misconception.
show ever.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
It wasn't supposed to be their last show ever. It was just
What?
like they had a tour scheduled after that just got canceled.
Wow.
And it was right down the street from my high school. Their last show ever. It's on like a concert now called like Under the Mississippi Lights or something.
What
And
the
it's
fuck?
it was like I was in 9th grade, I think 10th grade. It was like 2008 or something like that.
Okay.
So it was right down the street from my high school. So I remember we went early because like it's this outdoor amphitheater.
Oh my god.
And I remember me and all my friends going and just walk like after school instead of going home, like just walking over there and like spending a few hours there before the show started. And we had because it was an amphitheater, you have like GA tickets and then seats and then like upper lawn. One of our friends had like GA tickets, and then the rest of us had upper lawn. But we did the thing where like he took his ticket, and then like his dad, I think he was there with or something.
Oh, nice.
He took their tickets out, and he just kept going out one at a time, and bringing us all
Oh,
back in.
nice.
So
Yeah.
we're all like on the rail.
Oh my
So yeah, I was
god.
like up front and center for like the White Stripes final show.
That's like a house dog finding a dead animal or killing an animal.
yeah, having a cool
Well, have
moment.
you ever had a better
Yeah.
moment
I was
after
like, what
that?
the fuck? I was like, is this another one of your TikTok things that I don't know about?
No, sorry. I won't do that again. No, that's so
Yeah, it
crazy.
was-
I'm super jealous.
Well, and they didn't announce that they were like had broken up for like a year or something after
Yeah.
that. So it was just one of those weird things like, oh, the White Stripes broke up. And you're like, wait, we were at the last show. Yeah.
Damn. I really liked like their most popular song when I was a kid.
Mhm.
And then I found out like the rumor that he was like dating his sister. So then I stopped. I never like dove into the White Stripes music until like later I think it was 2009 or maybe 2010. I went to ACL when I was
Mhm.
visiting Austin and I saw the Dead Weather, like which was a different band he was in. But
Mhm.
after that, I like Googled it and I was like, oh, that's not true. It was just like he had married her and then they divorced and like started a band, I think is the story.
Yeah, it's like when the band started, they were still married, but then they got divorced, and then like we're still cool with each other, so they
Yeah.
just kept doing it.
I wish I would have liked him earlier because I could have seen him when they went to Canada. Did you see that like tour they did through Canada?
Oh
It's like
yeah,
recorded.
yes, I do remember that.
I could have seen them, but like I remember being a kid hearing that and being like, oh no, he like fucks his sister. And so I was like, I don't want to see that. You know?
Yeah. That is funny that is like that they were exes, and he chose to put out that they were siblings. He was like, I'd rather them think we're siblings.
I think he just started doing it like at concerts maybe just because like I feel like I've seen a clip of him being like, this I'm Jack White and this is my sister Meg because they had the same last name. Maybe that's why. But he also
Yeah.
took her last name. His real last name was Gillis.
Oh really? I
Mhm.
didn't know that. That's interesting.
It is.
Yeah, I think they're just like, I don't know. It made sense for like a branding thing too, though, because it was so. I mean,
Yeah.
whenever I was a kid, I didn't know details about the lives of rock stars, but we did about the White Stripes because they made all that mystique about it.
Yeah. I love them.
Yeah.
I kind of found them like later in life,
Yeah,
other than their like popular songs.
I just liked them a lot when I was a kid because I was like, oh, this is a band with cool guitar parts, but I can like play them.
Oh.
So like as a kid who like played guitar, I was like, oh, the guitar is like front and center, but it's not hard.
Right.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that was big for me.
So like what kind of music do you usually play?
Kind of whatever. I was always the bands that I was in though were, for the most part, like there were a couple of like not heavy things that I did, but it
Mhm.
was usually some kind of like heavy music, like metal adjacent.
Okay,
I
that's
guess.
cool.
Yeah,
I like do you like Tool?
Tool's cool.
Is it hard to play?
Some of it. It's definitely like if I was a drummer, it'd be hard as fuck.
Yeah.
But I also like. I'm sure a lot of parts of it are really hard to play, but I don't. Tool's one of those bands to me that I can like. I like respect more than I like to listen to.
I get that.
If
A lot of
makes
it's
sense.
very polarizing. I feel like some people like it and some people don't.
It's weird because they'll have like a complicated like rhythm thing going on, but then like okay, there's that song that like there was like super viral like drumming videos. That song Numa.
Yeah, I named my dog that.
Yeah, and oh yeah, I didn't even think about it. Well, the song is sick, right? Like, or like the live video of Danny Carey playing it, very cool. He's
Yeah.
very good at drums. But then you actually listen to the guitar part, and it's just like whenever he was going nuts, when it seems like it should be the crescendo of the song, and the guitar part is just ba dam dam dum dam dum dam dam, and I'm like, this could be so much cooler.
That's so
Why
funny.
aren't you doing something cooler than that?
Yeah,
And that's how I always feel about Tool. Or I'm like, you guys have just shown that you're capable of doing such crazy shit. But then the guitar part, I'm usually like, it's just like kind of boring.
Yeah, I guess it's like the drums are kind of more centered maybe, but I never think of it like that because I don't play an instrument. So it's interesting to hear you as like a guitarist, like thinking about like other outcomes. Do you ever see that show where like a guy will listen to like a song and then have to drum it, but he doesn't know the song?
Yeah, on Drumeo.
Yeah, I like that.
I love watching Drumeo.
Do they do it with guitarists? Because that'd be kind of cool.
I don't know. It'd be
too hard to interpret.
Oh, maybe it's a different. I mean? Yeah.
Like
you could still do it though. I mean, like you just have to maybe be like more selective about what you present to them.
Okay.
Yeah, but like think about like all the elements of like a guitar part in a song with like tone and
stuff. If you
like
can
that.
still have the bass and the drums on it, and so like you're still like, this is the arrangement, this is the key that it's in with the bass and everything. Like you still give them that framework. You could just be like, it's like giving someone a salad and being like, put whatever dressing you want on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the fun part about the Drumeo things is you want to see how close they get, because like there is like a.
But it's so sick when they go a totally different direction.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like I was watching it actually because my algorithm is so much Drumeo stuff. And like I was watching one today that was Bron Daler, the drummer of Mastodon, drumming on a Weather Report song. And so Mastodon's like heavy, metal band, and Weather Report is like fusion jazz rock from the 70s.
Yeah.
And they give him this song and they take the drums out. The thing is, the song like doesn't have drums on it. They just like kind of tricked him. It has like percussion, but the only percussion is just like it's just like this like, and like you at no point in the song is there like a beat.
Whoa.
But they just didn't tell him that. So it's like watching this metal drummer be like, he didn't go like crazy like metal with it, but it ended up being something completely different.
Wow.
And it was like, oh yeah, this is a super cool song now.
Damn.
Afterwards.
When they had, when they had the drummer from Megadeth listen to Mr. Brightside for the first time, he made a better song. Like it was
that
crazy.
dude's like a studio dude too, so
Yeah.
it ripped. That one was cool because he was just like, you saw like there's dudes like Bron Daler who are like, you drum in Mastodon and you've been in other bands, but like you played your music, and then you see like a studio guy go in and like they sit and they're like play the track for me, and they chart it all out, and they're like play it one more time, and they chart it all out, and they never even have to actually play it. And they just go okay, and they do it once, and they're like okay, there you go, and you're like, and it's kind of fucking perfect every time. It's so sick.
That's so cool. Do you ever do like music with your comedy?
Well, the closest I ever came to it was like when we would do Good Evening News,
Okay.
and I would do like the guitar thing.
Oh, really? I never got to see Good Evening News.
That's okay.
But
it was not a lot of people did. That's why it doesn't exist anymore. It was fun, but I used to like kind of like how like Absolute Show, they'd be like the house band, you know?
okay.
It was just me doing it though.
Yeah.
So like, and it predated Absolute Show, but it would be me on stage as just like the third mic, like, you know, like David Letterman has Paul Schaefer or whatever, you know,
Okay.
like it was there was the host, and then there would be me in like a costume with all this makeup and shit on, and I would just have my guitar and a drum machine, and I would like play people on and off. But I've never done I've never just done like musical comedy.
Do you not like musical comedy, or do you have like an opinion on it?
I mean, it can be good, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't particularly like musical stand up.
Okay.
Like, even though people who can be like good, I think that there are avenues that people have taken with it that are cool, like that seem maybe weird or hacking to do it again. Like guys like like Zach Galifianakis 20 years ago.
Oh, really?
Or Dimitri Martin like playing piano while they told like little one-liners and stuff.
Okay.
Just because like that contrast is funny. Like that's cool.
Bo Burnham, did you like his?
Yeah, and some people like that are like really good at it because they have like theater kid discipline about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I don't know that I would. It's also really hard to know how to to start to integrate something like that, because I've thought about it before just because I was like curious, and I've like tried to be like, if I did do this, what would I do?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how the fuck am I going to go from just talking and doing stand up and then be like, now I'm going to do this for a little bit?
That does seem
had
hard.
An idea for you. Let me know what you think about this.
Okay.
So like you present yourself as like what you just described you hate, like a stand up with an acoustic guitar or something like that. And then your setups are all just like, this is a song about your wife dying, and like you act like it's gonna be like and then you just have a real sad song,
and it just stays sad the whole time. That'd be the most fun way to go about it. It's just like they keep thinking, okay, now here comes the relief, and you're like, no.
You're like suspenders and shit, like you don't look like you're about to do it, and then it's just a real song.
I was talking with Kira because she was like talking about we were talking about like, oh, it'd be cool to like play music out somewhere sometime, and I run this like free monthly show at a coffee shop brewery place.
Nice.
And before, I've had like a friend of mine who was a musician when he still lived in town. He would come and like play music beforehand and stuff.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I was like, oh, we could do that, but I thought we like introduce ourselves as like, well, there's gonna be comedy in a little while, but we'll start playing now. But they don't know like is the beginning of the comedy show. So each song starts off like a very sincere song. And it doesn't break ever into a comedy song. They just all, no matter what, turn into Survivor by Reba McEntire. They all start off like, we write for real songs. We play like the first verse. They're all different. They're all like very real. And then somehow we have a bridge that ends up with a single mom who works 2 jobs. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. I want to see that.
Yeah. Hopefully it happens one day.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I love it.
There'll be 12 people at a coffee shop very confused.
I know, yeah. I definitely want to see that.
Yeah.
Or at least record it. That's super funny. I always ask everybody the same question when they come on. Do you remember your first set that you ever did, like for comedy, and how did it go? Do you remember any of your jokes from it?
Yes, and kind of
Okay.
for the jokes. I It was a long fucking time ago. I was weird when I started a long time ago, but like my first like few years, there were like some like I'd do it for like a few months and then like still call myself a comic, but like have done it once every 2 months for
Oh, okay.
because I was moving.
Yeah.
So I lived in Memphis and I started in Memphis, and then for like a couple years, I was back and forth between Memphis and like upstate New York. So I would like go there and like once a month do a mic.
Nice.
And then after doing that for a while, I came back to Memphis, did it a bunch for like a year, and then moved to another country for a year.
Oh.
And so like barely like I did it like a few times there and then came back. So it was like there's all these weird like my first like 4 years or 3 years are like they kind of count,
Interesting.
but not real.
Where did you move?
Columbia.
Wow, and you did it there.
There was a bar, this one bar that had a bunch of like tourists and expats and shit.
Oh, okay,
and they
okay.
would do like English comedy night.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I talked to Kiko, who just moved back there, and he was like, because it's the same town, and he was like, there's so much English comedy here now.
Wow.
Because there were just comedy in general is so much bigger than it was in 2018 when I lived there.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But no, my first mic was in Memphis, and there's no comedy club in Memphis. So this one open mic on Thursday nights at this bar called the P&H that's no longer there, which makes me sad.
Damn.
It was like the hub of local comedy. It was like the P&H open mic on Thursday nights. So like
Wow.
you'd go there, and if you got up in like the first hour, then it wasn't rowdy yet and people were like paying attention still, and you
Okay.
could like it felt almost like a club. But like after like an hour and a half in, there's like 100 people in there, but they just literally have their backs to you having a conversation.
Oh,
You're just
no.
like a guy in the corner of a room with a
Oh,
microphone.
no.
But the host, it was Tommy Oller, dude who still does comedy in Memphis, still there. He put me up and he was like, guys, give it up for Nick Cox. This is his first time doing comedy. I was terrified. I've been playing in bands for years, so I kind of thought, oh, maybe I've performed, maybe I'll be okay. And then I was like so close to like throwing up outside.
Damn.
I was like, I remember walking to the back and being like, because he was like, hey, you're going to be up in 2 people or whatever. And I remember walking to the back patio and being like, I can just walk to my car right now. I know.
Oh my
I
God.
can just get the fuck out of here. and I went up though, and there must have been like 60 or 70 people like
Wow.
watching, because there's no club, so that's just where people went to because they wanted to see stand-up comedy. It's very weird to think of.
Whoa.
And I went up and I told like I was doing like a shitty like Stephen Wright impression. You know Stephen Wright? Stephen Wright is like, he's a one-liner guy. He's like an 80s one-liner guy who, if you saw him, you'll be like, oh, this is so many bad comics that I've seen trying to impersonate this guy.
What?
He's like one of the most prolific like one-liner guys ever, but he goes up
Okay.
and he has like crazy hair, and he usually wears like a hat, and he talks real droll like this right here, and he tells like a little one-liner that's like real clever, like, I bought powdered water and I'm not sure what to add. That kind of thing. Like, he's the best, but like I was doing an impression of him because I used to just go to that open mic to see comedy all the time because I liked it, and I was like, oh, I need to write something, but I was so afraid to like try to perform a joke
I get that.
that I was like, I need something that would work as like a tweet, so that I can just stand perfectly still and say it.
Yeah.
And it still works.
Yeah, I get that.
So I went up and I had a stack of note cards for my joke. I like, because I like wanted to, I tried to build in things to cover up for all my like nervousness.
Oh
so
my
I
God.
like I only told like they're so bad one-liners. And I had a stack of note cards, and I would do the thing where I would like tell the joke perfectly like this pitch the whole time I would tell the joke, and then they knew exactly when the punchline was, so they would like anyone who, because they introduced this as my first time ever, so anyone who was there that wanted to be supportive knew when they were supposed to laugh.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, I'm like, that's the end of the joke. Clap. Okay, and then I drop the note card, and then I just do the next one, and it was very bad.
Yeah.
But because he was nice in the way that he brought me up, and because there were a lot of people there that were like trying to be supportive, it was like enough to do a couple more. And it wasn't until like a couple weeks later, a month later, that I went to like an actual bad open mic for the first time, and I like just talked to 6 comics for 5 minutes with 0 laughs, and I was like, oh, okay.
That's funny
Yeah.
because what you
Really
described as
different.
your first open mic is what like a lot of comics think an open mic is gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're like picturing
Well, in
like
small towns they can be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you just have to go somewhere where people don't have another option.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because if you start in a big scene, it's like, all right, that's cool, but they can go see good comics, so you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
It's like people will always think too, they're like, it's a bigger city, there's more opportunities, and I'm like, yeah, but it takes 15 minutes to do a stand-up comedy spot, so you can just have the same good people do way more of those.
Yeah. That's so true. And
you know,
it's like a double-edged sword, I guess.
Yeah,
there are like more things to do, more mics to hit, and things. But
but they all have just comics at them.
Yeah, but sometimes they will have like 2 audience members, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, see,
If you
I
can
didn't
get
have
2
to. I
real
didn't
ones-
have to learn to appreciate that those 2 audience members at the beginning of stand-up. I had to find that later.
Damn, that's so crazy.
Because I remember, I mean, like I said, a lot of the other mics in Memphis sucked, and I found that out like right after. But then when I went to New York, I remember going to, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do open mics in Manhattan. I heard you can do like 5 a night. So, because I was like a quick train ride from the city, so I went into the city and I did that. I like mapped it out on like, I don't know if it still maybe it still exists. It was Badslava, which used to be like it was like Craigslist for open mics.
Oh, okay.
It used to be like you'd put in the city, and like showrunners and stuff in cities would just list out all their open mics. So you could like map it all out.
Damn.
And I would go into Manhattan and do like the Village Lantern, which is now the Comedy Workshop, and like the Grizzly Bear open mic, and like all these or like ones under Climate Lounge, all these ones in like Laughing Buddha mics, which were like you had to pay to play. It was like $5-10 to get up on the mic, and you had like a drink minimum as a comic.
Oh wow. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
like all this shit that's like, it's like so like you just got to experience like, oh, this actually sucks. This actually sucks so bad. But luckily it was like I didn't have to experience that until I had already like realized that it can be fun first. So it was like, maybe if I would have had that happen first, I would have been like, I'm never fucking coming back here. I'm never going to do this again. This sucks.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of common where like a lot of comics will be like, I did it and I didn't do great. I didn't do it again for like a year or 2.
Yeah.
Like, and I wonder, like, maybe they just had a situation like that where it was like you had to pay and then there was no one there. And,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a huge bummer, especially when you like, you do one of those like pay to play mics, you go up, an hour and a half in, every comic is doing their like Manhattan comedy dream of going and doing 5 mics in a night. So the second they get done, they're gone.
Wow.
So the only people you have left in this basement of a shitty bar in like the Lower East Side are like the 4 comics who haven't gone up yet, who are pouring over their notes.
Oh, fuck.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, you're just like, I took a train 45 minutes to get here, and then I waited for 4 hours, and then I did this, and now I'm going to go fucking kill myself,
Damn. That sucks.
But here I am 100 years later, still doing bullshit.
So how many years have you been doing comedy?
The first time I went up was like 10, almost 11 years ago.
Wow.
But then it was like, like I said, like it wasn't until 2018 that I like started doing it like a lot.
Okay.
And then even then it was weird, because then I did it in 2018 a lot, and then I kind of like took not a break, but like was like doing it like once or twice a week in Nashville, because I moved to Nashville, and then it was because I was doing like this like course thing. I did like a coding boot camp, and I did that, and then this whole bullshit, and then COVID happened, and it was just like, I feel like it wasn't until I moved to Austin 5 years ago that I was like, okay, I'm all in now.
Okay.
I never like got to be like kind of all in,
Wow.
which
It's a good place to be all in.
Yeah, it's
And
good and bad.
You've done a lot of cool stuff.
I hope so.
Can you guess who was running the first open mic I did?
It was here?
Yeah.
Where was it?
At Creek. He's your friend. I give you too many hints.
How long ago was it?
A year and a half ago.
Okay, a year and a half ago. He's my friend. Was it Dane?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he was like super nice.
Nice. I was going to say, I was like, everyone I know has run a mic at Creek at some point.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, I was like, everyone does the thing where they run a mic at Creek and then they go, surely now they'll book me on a weekend, and then it doesn't happen, and they go, I think that I'm. So it's always funny because it's like, come to the whatever. I remember Heather, Keith, and Patrick like years ago. They ran a mic and I was having a party at my house, and they were at my house, and they were like, fuck, I got to go to Creek to host the mic, and then we were like, why? And they went, okay, yeah, you're right. Hold on. And then they left, and like 20 minutes later, they were back. They go, we gave the mic to Ray, and then like that was just it. And then that just repeated. Then eventually Ray gave it to whoever else, and that's just how that happens.
That's
there.
interesting. I never know like how long people run them usually, because
Yeah,
I've only seen a few people running them still, and I feel like a lot of people have passed their mic to other people too. So I guess that just happens.
It's kind of a thankless thing.
You just run
Running
it
an open
until
mic is like a
yeah.
No one. It sucks, and no one appreciates you.
I'm scared. I've never run one, and I'm like scared if I ever.
Don't be.
I don't know. Like I almost ran one the other day, and I didn't need to, but I don't know why that scares me, because I think maybe just it's a different format than I've ever done for hosting, so it's just something different.
Yeah,
you
but
know what
there's
I mean?
no one there.
I know. I guess it doesn't.
So
I
it
shouldn't be
doesn't, like,
scared. Yeah.
You're just. It's like other comics. You'd be like, hey guys, you got X amount of time.
Yeah.
You get the light at this point. Whatever.
It's not
Here
a
you
big deal.
go.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
that's
I'm just scared to say someone's name wrong.
fair. Yeah,
That's probably what it
happens.
is.
That happens. The worst is because of making like banana phone clips. When I've like put out clips of like and like collaborate with people. It's not until I send the collab request I'm like, I spelt their name wrong 14 times in this clip.
Oh no,
So,
it's easy to do. I
did it to
mean,
Jordan
I don't know.
Aguiar, and she was like, I know you know how to spell my name, and I'm like, I mean, hey, that's your fault for putting a fucking Y in Jordan. You know, like that's how that goes.
How long have you been on Banana Phone? Because I feel
Mhm.
like I know you guys just turned 5 as a thing, right?
Yeah, I've probably been on doing it for like 4 of those years.
That's so cool. Like, how did
somewhere
you
around there.
find it, or like, how did you meet Candace? Did you meet her through Banana Phone, or did you guys know each other before?
We met. I mean, that's so funny. That's such a like vivid and locked in dog dream.
I know.
Of course, once you hold the mic up, she shuts out. I met Candace. That's crazy.
Aw. Is she crying?
Oh, she woke up.
You're okay. Nothing's gonna get you ever. You're safe.
Um,
Sorry.
Yeah, I met Candace. I think I just met Candace doing shows and stuff here when I moved here.
Okay.
And then went to Banana Phone because, especially when it was right after the Creek mic until recently, it was like go to the Creek mic, and then I was like, oh, there's this other thing afterwards.
Oh wow, I didn't
But
know
it
that.
didn't used to be. Banana Phone 5 years ago was like, it was like mic attendance. You know what I mean? It was like,
Okay.
it was very much an open mic that people just happened to yell at you at. So it would be
Wow.
like, oh, cool, there are 20 comics that'll hang out at this open mic and yell at someone on stage. And then eventually,
Wow.
like a couple years ago was when like, it's kind of like slowly happened. But then probably like 2 years ago was when we realized we're like, oh, wait, we're like regularly having like a full house of like a lot of people. So there's a ton of comics, but there's also a lot of like non-comics there every time. And
Wow.
like, it was just kind of gradually happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just know it from a year and a half ago, and I feel like and now obviously, and I
Yeah.
feel like I have seen it like continue to like grow, and like you guys like are doing really cool stuff. I mean, you're always
Thank
doing
you.
cool stuff with it, but like you keep improving it, and like the angles are super cool now with like the way you guys capture the audience.
That is a
and-
tricky thing because
Yeah.
it's also like I'm the only one who does any of the production stuff. So like,
Wow.
so whenever it was like for a long time, like, hey, we need to get crowd shots, and I'm like, because also she's there all the time now. But for a long time, I would like set up all the cameras and then have to like host the show
Oh
and
yeah,
do
yeah.
all this stuff. And then I was like, they'd be like, why don't we have another camera? I'm like, why don't you suck my fucking dick? You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do anything else. This is too much. So yeah, it's like, if you ever see me on a Sunday and I'm snappy or mean, sorry.
No, you're never mean.
I've flipped. I've had to like apologize to people.
Really?
In like recent months.
Yeah.
Like there was a dude who was running the show before Banana Phone like a couple months ago. I think I'd met him, but I didn't like know him.
Yeah.
And all the show ran late, and all these people were like still in there, just like hanging out and like chilling. And it was like 10:05, and I'm like trying to set up cameras and there's all these people.
Dang.
And I was like, hey, can you guys get out of here? And the dude was like, he wasn't like aggressive about it, but he was like, hey man, like chill. And I was like, I just at whatever moment it was that he caught me, because like also I mean, this is doing anything with any comics, but like everyone at Banana Fun's always late. I was like the only one there, and I
Oh
was setting everything up, and
no.
this dude comes up and he's like, "Chill out, dude," and I'm like, "Oh fuck, I like I like spazzed on the guy.
In your
And then
defense,
immediately after, I had to go, like, because I freaked out on the guy, and Michael showed up right then and saw me
oh,
yelling in this guy's face.
oh God,
And then Michael like grabs, he's like, "Hey, get out of here!" Like, he like kind of like pushed the guy out. Basically, was like, "Get the fuck out!" And the guy was like, "He's yelling at me." Michael's like, "I don't care, get out of here."
I love that.
And then I immediately, as soon as I like had 2 seconds, I think I was like, "Oh, I'm completely in the wrong." I had to go. I went up to him, I'm like, "I'm so sorry. I freaked out. I shouldn't have. I apologize." And he was cool about it. But
I know why you freaked out.
why?
Because he told you to calm down, chill out. No one
Yeah.
ever has been like, yeah.
It's like telling a girl, like, "Hey, I did the math, and it's been 28 days since your last period. Maybe you're not actually that mad at me."
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like,
you can't say it.
yeah,
It's like
you-
it's like you're allowed to defuse a nuclear bomb, right? Like you have the code to defuse a nuclear bomb, but if you defuse that nuclear bomb, a much bigger nuclear bomb will go off. You know, like it's like you're kind of fucked either way.
I just feel like it's triggering
Yeah.
to tell somebody to chill out. Like, I don't know, but maybe not.
On whenever I have like a bunch of stuff going on, I've had to like realize it about myself. I think I've gotten worse about it, which I think I got worse about it, and I've recently had to like realize that. But like I've just had times where I like teed off on someone. I've been like, "Oh, that's crazy." But luckily, I'm like, I don't double down. Hope like so like I've like flipped out that and several times recently had to immediately go be like, "My bad, so sorry, shouldn't have done that." No, it wouldn't be like violent or anything, but
No, yeah. I mean, and also the show you work on, you have to be quick on your feet at like, I feel like it's probably a similar muscle.
well, I also have to yell at people to shut up the whole time.
Yeah. And so you're doing that, it helps.
Yeah,
Like, you kind of,
but
it's a good
like that's
skill.
not, you can't do that in life. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
Like,
I wish
the
I
whole
could.
show, I'm like, shut the fuck up to a stranger, and then like
Yeah.
afterwards, if I still do it, that makes me a psychopath.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's not good.
I know, but I think it's good to like have that in you, or you can do that if you need to.
I guess so.
'Cause I
I
can't
haven't
do
needed
it.
it yet, and I've still found reasons to do it. Like, that's the tough part. It's like people who have a gun, you know, and they're like, "You might need it," and I'm like, "How come all the only people who I meet who claim to need a gun are people who already have one?" You know what I mean? It's like every time I meet someone who has like, they're like, "Oh, I had needed this for self-defense. I shot a guy," and I'm like, I just keep not finding people who needed to shoot a guy and didn't have a gun. It seems like you guys are finding reasons. You know?
Yeah, it's like vigilante stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
I don't want to be looking for fights at comedy clubs. It's insane. You know, like that's not the right attitude to have.
The other day, my friend was by herself in her apartment, and a guy knocked on her door when I was there, and he was like,
"Oh fuck, I'm immediately disproven them."
He was so scary, and so I went and got a knife, and like she knows how to fight, so I wasn't that scared. But while she was talking to this guy, she did open the door. She was talking to him. I was standing in her kitchen with a knife, just like ready to just kill. Because I was like, I looked through the peephole and he looked scary, and it was fine. Ended up being fine. His shit was weird. He said though, like his story didn't make sense, and like what he was doing didn't make sense. But like, but I didn't ask her if she had a gun. But like in hindsight, I'm like, I kind of wish I also had a gun and a knife, and I could just like be ready. But yeah, it was so scary.
Well, now Nick lives with me, and Nick has like, there's like a gun. It's so funny because he has this very small bedroom in my place, and he has a refrigerator-sized gun safe in it.
Whoa.
He didn't have guns when he lived there before, but then his like grandpa died and left all these guns to him.
Oh, sick.
So he moved back down, and he was like, "Hey," because he was like, "Okay, can I move back to your place?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And he goes, "Before I do it, I should ask, because it'll look crazy. It looks like it's like 5.5 or 6 feet tall, probably."
What?
And like a vault. Yeah, it's fucking huge. It's
Whoa,
giant.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's much bigger than he is, and
whoa,
it's funny because it's like a very small bedroom and half of it's taken up by a gun safe. It's crazy. Because he was like,
so cool.
he like didn't want to, because I guess he went up and then he like found out. He's like, "Oh, these were all left to you," and he was like, "Oh, well, can I get him?" He's like, "No, you have to take him now." And he was like, "Okay." So then he shows up with this massive thing.
It must be hard to like transport.
I guess so. I don't. No. I mean, I am on the first floor. It's not like physically. I think. Did you mean like place to place?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like moving that when you have to move somewhere, or when you had to get it. But
Yeah.
That is cool that he has that though.
I guess so. I don't know. I've never been like a gun guy. Which is weird.
No?
I'm from Mississippi,
But
but
you
like
don't like them?
I shot a gun once in my life.
What were you doing, like
I was
targets?
6 years old or something like that,
Oh, you were too young.
and it was like a 22. I don't know. I've just known enough people who were like fucking morons with guns
Me too.
because like people had guns all over the place when I was a
Mhm.
kid. So it was like I'm good on that. And
Yeah.
also like it's a mix of being around like rednecks and shit in Mississippi, and but I would like always be in Memphis for anything to do, and it's just there's a lot of gun violence in the city, so it was
Mhm.
just like very normal to hear gunshots and stuff all the
Oh,
time.
really?
So guns were just always this thing that was around, and it usually sucked.
Yeah, you were probably like
Yeah.
scared. Like I'd be scared to hear gunshots. I'd hear them where I was from because like I grew up in like northern area. It's similar to like it's kind of hick.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
most of the people that live there were like some people almost had like a southern accent because they
Yeah.
had such a crazy like hick
I'm
accent.
imagining like Pet Cemetery accent. You know what I mean?
I've never seen
You
that.
never see? Okay, it's
Is
got
that
the
good?
dude who plays like Herman Munster, and he's got this crazy like, don't go down to the cemetery there. You
Oh yeah, like
it's
that.
like it's a lot.
It's like that kind of.
Such a crazy accent.
I hear people like shooting them though because they probably were just shooting them into the woods or like shooting animals or you know. But there wasn't like a lot of actual violence. It was more just like hunting and like.
Sure. Yeah, there was tons of stuff where I lived. Like my dad never like shot a lot of guns, but he did. I mean, he had like a rifle, and it's funny because he never. Didn't need it for like home defense or anything like that. But he just had it because when I was now it's just like they built like just a normal like subdivision around it. But when I was a kid, it was woods around the house, and so you'd see like coyotes and shit all the time. And I remember when I was a kid walking around, like I was in my backyard and there was a snake. There's like a little like 2 foot long garter snake, not poison. No, there's no risk at all with it. But I was like, Dad, there's a snake out there. And he must have just been looking for a reason to do this. Because I swear to God, he shot it 10 times.
Oh, God.
It's like he came in with a gun. I just remember being like, Dad, there's a snake. And I was like,
God.
It's like, there's no snake anymore. I was
Oh,
like,
my.
Yeah, that's true.
How old were you?
I was really young. I must have been like I was in elementary school. I
Oh,
was like,
my God.
somewhere between like 4 and 10. I just remember being a little kid.
Were you like, this is cool or this is scary?
It's certainly not a good way to diffuse a situation. You're like, because you'd think you'd normally tell there's a snake, and you think that you'd be like, oh, it's nothing to worry about. It's a garter snake. And instead, he was like, there's a snake.
See, that's why.
I like picturing that was his thing.
Dude, they gave me. It was weird. They gave me like this one show while. They gave me 2 shows for this show that I ran where I did it on like New Year's, which 2 days before New Year's Eve, they asked me if I wanted to do like, do you get because I'd pitched the show to them months before. And then 2 days before New Year's Eve, they were like, would you like to do this at 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve? And I was like, okay. So I like,
whoa.
I sold some tickets. I sold like 30 or 40 tickets, something like
Pretty
that.
good.
Yeah, people were. I think it was just people who were looking for something to do on New Year's Eve.
That's nice. Yeah.
But then they didn't. It went well and it went smoothly. And then it didn't happen again until like I pitched it a couple times. I asked like follow ups, and then they got back to me and they were like, "Hey, we'd like to do this again." And they were like, "We'll do it on this date, and if it goes well, we'll make it like a monthly whatever."
Wow.
But it was like a Wednesday 10 p.m. slot. It would have been following you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So it was last month. Every show was canceled like all week because it was like the middle of July. Everything was fucking dead. Your show was canceled.
Yep.
And then we still did it, but we had like 7 or 8 tickets sold, something like that.
Yeah.
We still did it. It was weird because you'd think if you're like one of the 7 or 8 people who went to this like weird kind of variety show thing on a Wednesday at 10 that you'd be like willing to get weird. But we did like the most off the wall show.
Yeah.
And just had people the whole time just looking at us like we weren't even amusing.
What?
It was like I went up is to the degree that I'm just like not getting reaction. Like started off the show doing like normal stand up. The concept is like you do stand up and then you like pull a character basically
that's cool.
like out of a thing, and then you pull, and then after that so like you get dressed up as the character.
Okay.
And then you do like a riff show, like a bucket show, but like as the character.
That's really cool.
That's what I thought. But then like the people were just, I did my set. They like were like, just nonplussed.
Oh no.
And then I go, like, the next comic does it, and it's kind of the same thing. Some people are getting like okay reactions, but like really nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, and this is maybe just a me thing, but I was like, if they're not feeling on board with whatever, do something just like shocking looking, like appear,
Oh,
like to try to get some reaction. So I come out and like I came out in like a morph suit to do something, and they're still like, I don't know. So then I came out with like between the next like because I had to come out multiple times like while people like to give them the buckets and stuff. So I came out and I had turned the morph suit into like where it was like only on my lower half, but then I had it like tied up like just over my like nipples with the arms up, and it unzipped all the way down. So I'm like half naked at this point.
Yeah.
Still nothing.
What?
So then I come back out and nothing but my underwear pulled up into a thong to be like, this must at least register on your faces.
Yeah.
Still didn't give a fuck.
They just what
It
the
was
fuck?
like
That's scary.
I'm like, I came out naked and you guys aren't even laughing at me. This is what is happening.
That is actually scary.
Not like you'd have to like laugh. I assumed at that point I'm like, listen, I've abandoned getting them to laugh with me.
Right.
Now I at least want to try them to get them to laugh at me.
You're like,
And it
I'll do whatever I
still
have to
couldn't
do.
even do that.
Damn.
It was like, fuck.
Have
I'm
you-
so screwed.
Have you ever heard about people that have no internal dialogue?
No.
I feel like those people are that those 20% of the population doesn't have an internal dialogue, and that's the only way I can
Interesting.
understand like how they could just have no reaction. Like I don't know, they're like NPCs.
Oh wait, no, I have heard people talk about this because I had a thought. I'm curious if I'm one of them actually.
You don't have any internal dialogue.
Well, I have like thoughts. I'm not like just vacant, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
think in like sentences.
Ooh, you're lucky.
You know what I mean? I don't know but I could be wrong. Maybe I think as soon
Yeah.
as I start thinking about how I'm thinking, then I don't know how I think anymore. It's like when somebody
Yeah.
tells me like, just walk like you normally do. And you're like, well, I never had to think about it. So now I don't know how I walk.
But do you think like, okay, say you're folding your laundry and you have to go to a show after, do you like think about like when you're doing something, it's kind of like, are you thinking about what you're going to do for your set? Are you thinking about what you're going to do for dinner? Like just like that kind of thing is how I kind of think of it.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I can think in that way.
Or if you see
Yeah.
somebody bombing in your head, you're like, ooh, that person's bombing. No?
Yeah, I think that, but it's almost like I don't know if I'm thinking of it with words as it's happening, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
It's almost like I experience the emotion, and then if I think back on it, then I'll like assign that to it.
Whoa.
But I'm not like thinking the words this person's bombing. But I
Okay.
don't know. Is that what other? But I think I might not be experiencing anything weird. I think I'm just thinking about thinking right now
Oh,
and
no.
hyperanalyzing it.
It's definitely a full spectrum where like I feel like my thoughts are fully narrated.
Oh,
Like, so,
yeah, I
like,
don't
that's
feel
the-
like that at all.
But we have
Like, if you-
ADHD.
So do I.
Oh, you do?
Recently diagnosed.
Yeah, but like if
Okay.
I was like trying to unlock a door and it like wasn't working, in my head without saying anything, it would be like, what is wrong with this fucking door? I would think those words. And you're saying
Oh.
you wouldn't do something like that.
I don't think so. No,
Interesting.
because I don't think that I'm thinking in sentences when it's happening.
Interesting.
Like I think that like
Well, I'm
yeah.
sorry. I shit on people who know internal
no,
dialogue.
I mean you could shit on it. I don't know. I never really thought about that much because
Yeah.
somebody brought it up to me a long time ago and they were like, oh, I thought like somebody was mentioning having a thought process like that, and I remember bringing it up, but I've never. This is like the most I've ever spoken about it. I've never really thought too much about it. You know,
It's crazy. So, like, when you're at Banana Phone,
Yeah. Well, that's different because I'm specifically thinking of what I'm about to say.
yeah,
You know what I mean? If I'm just like experiencing something without the expectation of having to say something.
yeah, maybe I want to like find somebody who has no internal dialogue and like ask them questions. Because like
Yeah.
I don't know if they could even do that. Because that's still
Answer a question?
no, like
Oh.
do what you do on Banana Phone. You
Sure.
know, like you're thinking about what you're gonna say,
Yeah.
but if you don't have internal dialogue, can you even do that?
I don't know. But I feel like for me, and if I don't know if I think I have internal dialogue, but I definitely don't think in like I don't have a narrator. Like the way
Yeah.
you're
It's not
talking
it's
about
a spectrum, I guess.
is like I think that it's like I can think of words
Mhm.
and I can totally if I can do that. Like I can like in my mind have Morgan Freeman narrating my day.
Yeah.
But that definitely doesn't happen by default.
Okay.
It's like there's like I experience like the emotions and the feelings of things and like have like thoughts of like snippets of like what's about to I'm still experiencing things I would imagine in like the same way. I just don't assign words to it until I need to.
Interesting. Okay.
that's different from like what I think her and I would experience, because when you're laying in bed falling asleep at the end of the night, you're not thinking in words. You're not thinking like, I did this today, kind of, I'm going to
I'm
do this,
thinking about doing what I did that day,
but
but I'm
not in
not thinking
words.
with the no. I'm like picturing what I did that day. I'm like thinking about like the concepts of that, I guess, but I'm not literally saying to myself. It's like my thoughts are too scattered for that. I
Oh,
can't. I don't think so. It's hard for me to think that linearly.
okay.
It's
That's
also
interesting.
hard for me to picture something in my mind for more than like a second or two.
Whoa.
Like I
Interesting.
get like things of it, but I can't like hold on to it. I don't know if that's normal. It might be totally normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
But
think
someone was
that's
mentioning
normal.
before like a mind's eye thing, because I was telling them like about like how like most things don't affect me much,
Okay.
and they were like, "Oh, that's like a mind's eye thing. Like if like drugs and like medication don't like like affect you mentally much ever, then like that can be like you don't have a mind's eye." And then I was like, "Well, I feel like you're calling me a moron."
Oh my God.
But but then I was thinking, I was like, I don't know. Do I not have a mind's eye? I don't know.
But honestly,
Which
that
sounds
seems kind of
scary.
chill.
And
That's
it
kind
makes me
of
sound like I feel like a sociopath.
no, it's
But
kind of cool.
I think I do have a mind's eye, but I just can't like I don't think a lot of sentences, and I don't like really have a lot of I can't like have a visual and just hold on to it really.
But you obviously can think in sentences because you're a very good comic.
Yeah, it's just not
So
like
you-
how
you-
it's like how people have multiple languages, you know?
Yeah, it's just like a different way of thinking. So like if
I
you're
guess
writing a
so.
joke, do you think of the joke in your head and then write it? Or are you just sitting there and you just write one? Or you just
is
like
it a
think of
good
a
joke or is
premise.
it a bad joke? Because if it's a bad joke, I'll write it. Because then because like typically if I'm sitting down to just write,
Mhm.
like if I'm just being like, okay, I'm gonna write now, like this is like structured stand up comedy writing time.
Mhm.
That's when I'm like not particularly inspired by something. Because usually like if something's like I'll have like an idea first, you know what I mean, or something that like comes up in conversation or a thought that I have. I'm like, oh, that's a funny idea, and then I like think of ways to say it.
Okay.
But like if I'm like just writing in a very structured way, it's usually because I'm like, damn, I need to come up with something new. Like I
Okay.
need to whatever, and I'll like start with nothing and be like, I'm gonna sit down and like I'll do like it's funny because this is never how it ends up on stage, but I'll start with like I'll free write, just like journal for a
Oh,
minute,
wow.
which I kind of struggle with because I don't think like that.
That's cool.
You know
though.
what I mean? So it's like when I journal, I'm like trying to put words to what it is, and it sucks. But I'll like free write and hate it, but then I'll use whatever I wrote about to be like, okay, here's like a theme or something that seems
Yeah.
to be the general vibe of what this is about, and then I have like different ways to do it, but sometimes if I'm like just like I have half an hour to write, I'll do like here's 5 words that I like the first 5 words I thought of with that theme, and then I'll be
Okay.
like, okay, now for each of these words I have to write a joke. It doesn't necessarily
Whoa.
have to be like doesn't have to necessarily have that word in it or whatever. It's just like based on this word, what's the first thing you thought of?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like improv nerd style, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that made me think of this.
Have
Like,
you done improv?
I did a few classes
Okay.
years ago, like before I did stand up. I did like 3
Oh,
like
wow.
UCB classes a long time ago.
Nice. I recently graduated from improv 1, level 1 at Cold Town.
Yeah, so they do
Yeah.
UCB course. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did 101 through 301 like 10 years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. But I'm not really like I'm not passionate about improv, but I liked it and I feel like I learned a lot from it. But I prefer stand up. But
Yeah,
I
think
liked
there's
what I
something
learned.
cool about knowing that it's possible to go up without a script and get a laugh.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
was so fucking scary at first.
Yeah.
Were you scared? Or were you just like I'm
I
just doing this?
struggled because I was in New York doing it when and I wasn't like I said I hadn't even done stand up yet. I only like I just been in like bands and stuff for years. I had no experience in like comedy in general.
Yeah.
And then I go to this class where at least in 101 everyone was like a theater kid,
Oh wow.
and they were all like in New York trying to be like they were all trying to be like Broadway actors and shit.
Oh shit.
So they were all actors.
Wow.
Like no one was just trying to be a comedian first.
Holy.
Like which you can be a comedic actor, but they were all trying to be like everyone in my 101 class almost was like trying to be like how would you say it? Like, it would always be like, oh, my agent said that it's really good to like have to have comedy on your resume.
Oh shit.
Kind of people.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so it was just like people who all had like a shared frame of reference that I didn't know.
Shit.
So it'd be like every improv scene they'd go up and it would be like improv about theater.
Whoa.
So it'd be like, you go up and be like a silly character and be like a guy doing vocal warm-ups before Broadway, and I would go up and just be like, they'd start to do some shit,
my
and I
God.
like would say something, and they'd be like, afterwards they'd be like, well, he was doing, you know, whatever acting exercise as a bit, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Oh my
You know what I mean?
God.
And they were also just all very like woohoo, like kind of like, very
Yeah.
like, oh my God, after class we're all gonna get together and go do karaoke, like
Yeah.
kind of like it was. I had to like the first like 2 or 3 classes I went to, I was like struggling. I was like, I fucking hate this. I can't get over it. I can't do what blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then I remember like the 3rd or 4th class, I was like, well, I paid whatever it cost, like $350 or something like that at the time, $400, something like that. And I was so broke. I was like, that's all my money.
Yeah.
So I can't get it back. So it'd be pretty dumb for me to just like not at least like, because nobody here knows me, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't need it. Why would I be? It's dumb to be embarrassed when nobody knows me. So I was like, I'm going to go to this class and do like an impression of what I think an improv person would do.
Nice.
And then it was like really fun. Like it was like,
Whoa.
I went there and I was so corny. I went in and I was like, I'm going to go there and just pretend, like kind of mirror a lot of their like energy,
Oh, that's funny.
I guess. And so they'd be like, so we're doing like an improv game and like zip, zap, zop type shit. And they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done zip.
Yeah,
zip
we
zap?
had to.
So whenever they're like, just mirror their emotion,
Oh,
you
that's
know, when
smart.
they're like
Yeah.
zip, zap, zop. And I was like, the first time they told me to do that in class, I'm like, my skin was crawling. I'm like, don't get this fucking.
It's
bullshit
hard.
from
It's
me.
really
fucking
hard.
Stupid. And it is dumb as fuck.
But that's why it's hard to do it.
Yes. So it was like, I was like, I hate this. I'll never fucking do this. And then I was like, well, why not? And then it was like, I had this one class where it was like, because I think I maybe done like a couple open mics. So I maybe had like a little bit of snobby bullshit in there.
Okay.
And I was like, I remember the first class that there was some opportunity to go like really big for the first time. Like to be like, okay, you're gonna do this, and he like the exercise is this guy comes in and does whatever, and you just jump in and be like first big choice you can make. And I remember coming in and like I don't remember what I did, but I remember coming in like screaming some shit and being like super over the top and ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And then like not melting into the floor out of embarrassment. You know
That's
what I mean?
good.
And
That's
then being like,
freeing.
all right, well that's cool then. And then now I feel like anytime I do like any variety show or anything where I have the opportunity to like take the biggest swing I can,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all my only goal is like commit as hard as you possibly can. Like try to come up with a really funny bit, try to be clever or have good writing or whatever.
Yeah.
But once it starts, and this is what I think like improv class gave me, was like the only thing you can control is like full commitment and not pussying out. Because you ever seen someone go up and be like, they're in a silly costume and they like do some crazy voice, and then by like minute 2 they're like, well, anyway,
That happens
I'm
all the
kidding.
time.
Yeah, and you're like, this sucks.
They don't commit fully, or they do at first, and then they start to forget or they don't commit, or they're like self like hatey or like questioning themselves.
Yeah.
But you don't do that. When I've seen you go up in a character, like I've seen you do a couple characters.
Because typically any show you've ever seen me do a character on, I was probably asked to do it like that day.
Really?
So I probably don't really have much prepared. So usually I'm
really?
like, well, the only victory I can glean from this is like if I go up and I knew that I know afterwards that I didn't like pussy out.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, cool.
Yeah, you always do great. Like all the characters I've seen you do have been hilarious.
Thank you.
And I didn't know if you were a trained actor, honestly, but you're not.
No.
Okay, so you're just good at it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you're good at going big. I never learned that in improv still. Like I
don't think you're necessarily supposed to.
I
don't think it's like,
yeah.
I don't know if this is like, if you go really big, a lot of times it just breaks whatever the other person is trying to set up. So like,
really?
There's certainly a time and a place, but I think that for me, I had to like go super ridiculous so that I could be like, oh, that's okay. So then I could come halfway back to like normal living.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like you talked about like putting on a character as like a sort of shield from your own like embarrassment.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I just imagine you like having that one time where you went big and it worked out, and then you become the improv guy that the other people are like, oh, here comes fucking Nick again, steal the show, Nick. Who's gonna
I
be
didn't know he
like,
was stealing the show. I think it was just like, here's that guy who's loud as fuck. I think it was like that.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I did you guys have to like give each other like affirmations at the end of your training?
I don't remember.
We
Do you
had
guys have to do that?
And like
You are enough.
my situation was hard because everyone was so nice, but everyone was very normal, like had normal jobs, like
Okay. So these are like people who want to get better at public speaking.
yeah, I think so. And then did you have to do a monologue with words if somebody gave you a word?
Yeah.
We did that as an exercise, like a couple classes where somebody would give a word and whoever had a story would have to go out. And unfortunately, like a lot of times I would have a story and no one else did. So I
Yeah.
had to. And then I was just like telling him all this like fucked up shit
Sure.
and like talking about like conspiracy theories and shit. And then at the end of class, everyone in the circle, when it was like, I was the last one to get the affirmations because I just didn't want to. I have a hard time in groups.
Sure.
And everyone
Also,
was like,
being sincere is always
it's hard.
having people stand around you while they laugh is one thing, but while they tell you like you're so inspiring.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, they didn't say that. They just all said that they liked my dark, twisted sense of humor.
oh.
And I was
well, there you
like,
go.
and I was just like, oh no. Like, but then also, like, unfortunately, all the stories I told him were kind of fucked up. And then I have this thing in improv where I think I'm always trying to end the scene.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't do it right away.
Especially if somebody goes up, they do the first beat, and you're like, okay, guys, let's get out of here.
Yeah. Like,
Wrap
I'm
this up.
always like, I'll do the no instead of the yes. And, like, I like that. I find it
Oh, wow.
funny.
Crazy day we're having at school, huh? Nope. And we're not at school. We're at the office. It's time to go home. It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I just kept ending it. But like
and we're birds.
I would stay with the theme and I wouldn't change the scene or anything, but I would just always like be the ender of it.
Yeah.
So like I came across probably as negative, but I also have ADHD, so I think I'd get bored of the scene and then I would just end it. Like,
yeah.
You know?
We had
I get laughs though.
my
Like,
101 class, I don't think we were in charge of of edits on our 101.
actually, yeah, maybe. Okay, so I didn't end it. The teacher did, but a
but
lot
you
of
were
times
just like you were establishing that it should end.
I was the last one to say something and then it
Okay.
ended.
Okay.
And I usually would get some pops.
Sure.
So-
Well, that was always the thing too. Is I was like, even though I hadn't done much stand up at the time when I did, because like I did the 3, so I hadn't. It was like for like a year, so I did a little bit of stand up.
Okay.
Like by the end of it, but I had to like keep reminding myself, like they're like, don't go for a joke, don't go for a joke.
Oh my god, really?
They didn't tell you guys that?
They didn't tell me that.
I guess in 101 they really wanted just 201 they talk about it a lot.
Really?
So yeah, like because it's probably, I mean, this was forever ago. So like the way that UCB shit was, like their program was set up back then, was 101 was just like establishing general, like you go up, here's how to like play off each other, to say yes and try to have fun.
Yeah.
And like be like try to go up on stage and like be people. And then 201 was when they talked about like the game of the scene.
Oh.
Which this is like nerdy shit that people are probably like, oh, fucking dork stuff.
No, I
But,
think
like,
this is cool.
game of the scene stuff is very like that's when they're like, what is the like repeating it's like the theme of the jokes, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Not like theme as in like setting and stuff, but like, so like a good example of this is like Key and Peele. You know how like every Key and Peele sketch is like, okay, something's normal, the first weird thing happens that breaks that reality, and then every joke from then on is the same joke but amplified. Like the hat one, you know, where it's like he has like a cool hat and he's like, fuck, that's a cool hat. And then he comes up and he's like, oh, his hat has the tag on it. He's like, fuck. Then it's still in the laundry bag. Then his hat, like eventually, you know, it's like the guy, like the Chinese guy sewing it. Like,
Okay.
that's like how UCB like trains you.
Interesting.
Where they're like, you find the first thing and you just keep heightening it. And then once it's reached its insane conclusion, you wrap it up. But their problem is they're like, if you go for visual jokes, you're pulling away.
Oh, sorry.
Like because even if like a sitcom, like the game can be jokes, and the game can be like really funny people making jokes, but that's just like impossible to keep doing if you're in
Yeah.
an improvised way. So it's like,
It only works for like Family
yeah, or like think it was people who were like really overwritten shows like 30 Rock or like Amy Sherman Palladino shows like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel or Gilmore Girls, where it's like in a world where everyone is really clever and makes jokes every 2 seconds and no one laughs, so it's hell.
Yeah.
Like, so for those funny people, they're experiencing anguish always.
Yeah.
Like
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and then 301 was like when you start getting like way more like nuts and bolts shit, where it's like,
Oh.
like now we're gonna work on a herald. So it's like all about like format. So it's basically like they show you how to make it really funny, and then they put all these rules on it that make it not funny and really hard
Wow.
after that. But
That's
I don't. It might
crazy.
be different now.
I wonder. I mean, some of this stuff does sound familiar, and I think that game did get mentioned at one point, but I can't really remember. I was
Yeah.
nervous for like probably most of the classes, and eventually I was able to like let go. But I had a hard time with like not having control,
Yeah,
like just
it's
not
the opposite of
knowing.
stand up.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it is cool though, because it's like like when you do stand up, especially in the beginning, you want to know what's gonna happen the whole time. You're like,
Yeah,
this is my set, like these are my set lists, and especially when you're up in the beginning, if anything goes, some sound in the room happens or a heckler or whatever the fuck, it's like,
that's me.
okay, how do I
Yeah.
get back to the game plan? I need to get back on the script.
Yeah,
But it's like,
it has helped with that.
but it's nice because then it's like you do improv and stuff, and then eventually once you just like know, you're like, okay, I have material,
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yep.
But then you give yourself like, instead of even using like the specific skills you learn in improv, it's more just like it shows you that you can be funny, just like that you can be funny instead of you happen to have written funny things.
That's so true. It like gives you like more confidence maybe, because the reason I took it was because one time I did a show at Creek and this woman talked to me like the whole time.
Mhm.
And I didn't know how to do crowd work, and I just like didn't know what to do, and it fucked me up. And then
What'd
like
you do?
after I talked to Rebecca and I was like, I don't know what to do, like I gotta learn crowd work, I don't know, like do you have any advice? And she was like, go take improv at Cold Town. And then I just did it, and it helped me a lot. Like I'm still not the best at crowd work, but like I'll address things more now.
Sure.
Like,
What'd you do that time? Did you just ignore her?
I just said like thank you or something, 'cause she was like complimenting me, but like so much. And now I'm much better at like addressing things, because like if you don't address it, I feel like the audience doesn't trust you too.
Kind of sound crazy.
And it makes
it
like
makes
everyone
them
else
feel
is
like,
watching
oh wait, are we
it.
just watching this person on stage? Like they're not also here?
Yeah, they like
Yeah.
lose trust. They're like they're just not going to say anything, like I don't
Yeah.
know. But it's still something I'm like working on, and I think as I continue to do it, I'll get better. But like the other day, some guy started talking, and I was like, "It's not your turn," and then like I just like
Sure.
moved on. I was like, "Okay."
I was at Sunset like 2 weekends ago, and it was like a fairly small audience with maybe like 30-ish people or something, 40 people, which Sunset's the stage is just so fucking, the room is big, so like there's like 30, 40 people, but like the stage is this high, so it feels like weird sometimes. But thank you for booking me. It's but the crowd was like a very chatty. And I guess like right before I got there, they had been like a problem, had been warned multiple times and stuff. And Mikey had like, I guess like freaked out on a guy, and
Oh shit.
and I guess it got kind of weird for a minute. But then like before me, like the one or two comics that I saw before, like right before I went up, it wasn't really much of a problem. But then I went up and I went into, I did, I was just doing material.
Yeah.
I mean, I riffed around a little bit, and then I went into material, and this guy, he was like, oh fuck, what did he say? He said something. Oh, I was in the middle of this, it like wasn't related to the bit I was doing, and then he went, "You still look like Brendan Fraser though," just like that, and like, which is like kind of just it's not really anything particularly. He's like, okay, yeah, I guess I kind of do, but he didn't really give it like a funny twist or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "You still look like Brendan Fraser," and then I just, because they had told me that these people were like a problem before,
Yeah.
I like really unloaded on him, but like in a way that like got a laugh, but because it was just very blunt,
Yeah.
So I was like, he's like, Brendan Fraser though, and I was like, hey, how about you suck my fucking dick, you bozo? When he's it was like whatever, it's like,
Oh
and it
my
got a big
God.
pop, like it was going well, and I was just like for like 30 seconds just saying things that were so like suck my dick, you bozo, like that are like, you know what I mean? They're not clever, they're not like whatever, but it's just like what? And I did it for like a minute, and it got kind of a pop, and then I start to go into back into material. Because I made fun of his clothes or something. I was like went into him and he just kind of sat there, and then I went back into material, and then he interrupts me again, but just to say it was a fucking compliment.
Ah!
And I went and then I didn't know what to say, but this is the improv thing where they're like a lot of times the best thing you can do is give, or like all you can expect of yourself reliably, instead of trying to give yourself all this pressure to be clever,
Yeah.
is to react honestly in a situation that feels like, wow, that's crazy that you'd react honestly like that and not just be thrown off.
That's true.
So like in improv class, when you're a straight man, they're like, they just want you to mirror what the audience is thinking a lot of the times, you know?
Wow.
So I said the whatever to him, blah, 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 kind of a pop, but it's like just to shut him up. I move on. He says the thing. He's like, it was a compliment. And then I just went, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I apologize. Like I got defensive. I shouldn't have gotten defensive, and that's sorry. And that got a pop
Nice.
because it was like people being like, but then kind of a pop, but kind of just like that's fair, yeah. It was just kind of like, because if I would have tried to double down or whatever, it could have been like weird or whatever it was. But it was just like all right, we can all get out of this scot free. I'll just, I'm like, conscious is clean. It's fine. We're good.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
So just
cool.
like, that's the first time I think that I've just apologized to someone in a set and moved on. Like, oh, my bad. I didn't know that. Sorry.
No, I love that.
You
And
can
I
just-
like when people do that. Like I've seen other comedians do things like that kind of. I think Luis Gomez did that once. Like I feel like when he was talking to somebody, he was just being real, but it was so funny.
It's a weird thing where it's like, not to be like I'm some have any bearing to tell anyone how to do anything with stand up, but like just by virtue of doing it more
Mhm.
and doing it for longer, you can just time in, you can just like, once you get more relaxed on stage, like doesn't necessarily make your material better,
Yeah.
but just being able to talk and react and respond like a person on stage,
Yeah.
instead of having to go up and still feel like now I'm doing stand-up comedy. You know what I mean? It's like you can just
Yeah.
walk up and still just talk and behave like yourself. It's like
Yeah.
probably the reason most people get into stand-up comedy, not all people, but is that they feel like they can be funny in general.
Yeah.
So then you go up and it's like, once you can figure out how to like have less of a, like, you're not, because it's weird, you go up and you're just trying to pull away, so then you're back like you are off stage, on stage.
Yeah.
It feels like you want to be like this big crazy version of yourself, but you're like, I've mostly been like, for the most part, want to be the same, and then I can like in specific moments be like
Yeah, I like
know?
that because that's more powerful too. I feel like if you do it in like bursts or something, like being crazy. I've never been crazy on stage. I don't know if I ever can be, but I've like never. I've never tried. Like I'm
you
not
like
an actor.
literally like produce a variety show. You have infinite opportunities.
I know, but like everything I've been in has been very like I'm just doing comedy, but then like something went wrong type of thing.
Sure.
So like I haven't had any characters where I'm like outside of my comfort zone yet, really. But
Yeah.
like that is something I'm looking forward to. But like I haven't had to do that yet. But I think that'll help me. I just want to be real on stage with comedy though. Like one day, I feel like everyone who's good is just like being themselves. Like usually, obviously, like you can be characters, which is really cool too.
Well, I think even improv, it helps you so much with it.
It
Because
helped
it's
me
like
a lot. I think I need
just
to take another
making
class.
everything, doing whatever the scare, constantly doing whatever you think the scariest thing is.
Yes.
Like whatever you're afraid of,
Mm-hmm.
do it, not because it's gonna even be good,
Right.
because nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
Because the thing is, once you do whatever you think you're gonna do in comedy, I haven't done. It's not like I've done that many crazy things, but anything that I've done up to like, like pretty big rooms doing stand up, or going up in front of a couple hundred people in a diaper, or whatever the fuck it is.
I love that character.
At the end of all of it, no matter what, you realize nothing changed.
True.
And that's a cool thing, because you're like, if you went up and then it was like a huge pop and everyone's like, holy shit, why? You'd kind of still be afraid of it afterwards because you still, now it's a big deal.
True.
But the thing that I realized, like, if I bomb, if I do like great, if I go up there in a fucking diaper, if I whatever the fuck it is, afterwards nobody really gives a shit no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like a powerful thing.
Yeah, it's like kind of freeing.
Yeah, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter no matter what.
Yeah. No,
like,
I agree.
Almost never will it, like, and you'll know like not know, but like there's moments where people know, like, oh, this one, like, you know, it's a fucking competition or audition for something or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, try to be funny, but ultimately realize, like, if you feel like being afraid is in the way, it's like, think of every set you've ever done.
Yeah.
What's happened afterwards that was consequential?
True.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing really.
Yeah.
Like a couple times horny guys go up after me, but that's mostly at open mics.
I am curious. How many, like, if you've gone up and like done well on a show, what is the attention after like?
I don't know, because I feel like I never crush. Well, I do okay. Sometimes I do pretty good.
But do you like, you know, like after a spot, if you're like just kind of like hanging out by the bar or something?
I've never done that. I always hide away.
You go hide away.
I'm very introverted, but I should try it just to see see if like it is interesting or whatever. But like I haven't tried that yet.
Sure.
But that's curious. Do you go up to the bar after?
I will, if I just happen to be there.
You will.
I'm not like, I don't like deliberately leave.
Yeah. I don't leave, but I'll like hide.
Sure.
Kind of, or I'll stay out back.
Every now and then I catch myself, like, if you like kind of, you're like, that was a good one. And then you're like, you don't want to admit to yourself that you're like standing close to the door on purpose. But then it's always like I'm standing by the door. Like if I'm at Creek, for instance, like there's been like a handful of shows that I've like featured there.
Yeah.
And they've gone pretty well. And like, so if especially if it's like a weekend and it's a full house and you do some shit, and then like somebody walks by and they're like standing by the door, huh? And you're just like, no. I was already here. This is just where I hang out here.
Oh
I'm not doing this for validation. This is where I stand. This one dude told, I think it was Carlos Figueroa from San Diego. He was like, we were on this show. I featured on this show in San Diego and he was the host. And after the spot, like when the headliner was wrapping up, we were in the green room. He's like, are you coming to the validation station? But like in such a normal way, like it was a thing everyone said. Like, are you going to the validation station? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, after the spot, when you go stand by the door, so everyone has to go by you and look you in the face and tell you did a good job. The validation station. He's like, it's the best part of stand-up comedy.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? He was so sincere with it.
I love that. Yeah, no, it's probably smart too, because then you get to like meet the people and like it's probably a good idea. Maybe I will do it, like, and just, or at least be somewhere where like they could talk to me if they want, because like I do think that's good for like making an audience.
You don't like it?
I mean, like our most of our shows are like 90% men.
But
like,
I feel safe at the
Okay, well, this is you have separate. So okay, that's this is kind of the thing. So it's an interesting thing because you obviously could have see this happening, be like fuck, but then I'm wondering if like, because there are times after a spot when you like want the validation and it's good, and or like you're pretending you don't want it, but then somebody gives it to you and you're like, I feel nice.
Yeah.
And there are times, though, when you're standing there afterwards, you realize there are comics in the audience and you just start chopping it up with them. I was wondering, though, because it's like to what I think Phil was kind of getting at, where it's like, if you do a big natural show, especially with the way you market it.
I know.
Then and then you go stand by the door, you're going to have like you're going to have like a lot of attention in a way that might not be the nicest.
Yeah, they might not
receive.
say anything about the jokes or something.
Yeah.
And that would be sad.
Sure.
It's not, when I said it was 90% male, I think that like kind of whatever, that's a lot of comedy shows, but hers were 90% males that came by themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's on me. That's on me.
Well, you know, it's just, yeah. That's a lot of guys. That's a lot of guys.
I actually stand by the door after every one of those shows and shake every person's hand.
Yeah. No, yeah,
like,
that is a, like somebody pointed out, like, I mean, the same thing goes, I guess, for in this instance, but it was, I remember somebody saying, like, making the joke one time about like just a guy with a neck beard just being like, one for Christina Mariani, please. You know what I mean? Like, And there's a specific when you see like a
Yeah.
lot of like we posted banana phone clips of you before, and then in like you get like normal comments, and then you get guys just being like, everyone in there wishes they could fuck her, and you're like, why are we? Why no one's talking about that? Like, why are we being so forward right now?
It's weird, but that did happen. I remember that comment.
Yeah,
because I was like, what the hell? Like it just is so
because I've even
intense.
known I've dated multiple comics,
Mhm.
and like even when they're not running a show called Big Naturals, that's the kind of attention that you get a lot. Like like I went on the road with a friend of mine who she was headlining, and like I had to tell her so many times after spots that people were trying to get her into threesomes.
Oh no.
She would be like hanging out at the bar with people, and like the club's shutting down, and it's just like one random like 28-year-old couple there hanging out, and she's like, they're asking us if we want to go to this after party, and I'm like, they're trying to fuck you. They're not.
Oh no.
I was like, she's like, they asked me. They never asked me. But she was
my
like,
God.
they say they want to go. I'm like, just so you know, they are 100% trying to fuck you. And every time I've been right. Because every time she's like, no, they're not. And then 20 minutes later, she's like, fuck, they just told me what number their hotel is.
Oh
you know?
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
See, like I haven't had that happen with comedy yet, but I do kind of hide away. But I have had that happen in real life, like where, like when I first moved here, I was pretty young. Like this couple came up to me once at a swimming place, and the lady was like complimenting me and calling me so hot, and then the guy was just like standing there, and I didn't know what was happening, so I thought they were being sarcastic because I'm from New England, and so I was like, I don't like compliments, and then like they kind of fucked off.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, I heard them like talking about me from behind me and being like, "Oh my God, she's so hot. Look at her. She's like smoking now." And like then I realized it later on, but I did not. I understand not knowing because I don't. My brain doesn't go there, so like I don't think about that, you know.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, "Oh no, they were trying to fuck me."
Especially, I think people like who see, like, they're like, oh, I see a woman commanding attention from a lot of people, and if they're like gonna hypersexualize a woman in general, like we're all staring at the same person, that it's like it's this overwhelming like whatever, like people are, and especially afterwards, and like, well, she was very vulnerable and just saying all kinds of crazy stuff for a long time, so then they go up to the bar and it's like now they feel like, well, she opened up the thing to talk about, like opened up the door to talk about sexuality and stuff, and you're like, motherfucker, that was on stage.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's like a different,
they don't understand the
people
separation.
will come in. Because I've had like going on the road opening for women when like they're still selling their own merch, but they're like, yeah, can you come sit with me at the merch table after this? Because then there'll just be like a dude with a ponytail staring at them the whole time, you know?
Merch table's a good idea because then there's a separation a little bit.
Yeah.
But so maybe I'll do that.
It's you can keep hiding if you want to, but yeah, it's just something to. I'm just curious because it's like, it seems pretty universal, the experience of.
It happens with men too.
With this crowd, like it's just gonna be like guys like, hey, like, are you open to like selling some of your spit? Like it's like
that's true. Actually, maybe you could just meet them so that you can make an extra $10,000 after your set.
Yeah, I just bring little bottles with me. Piss. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's just anything. Just be like, go buy a lemonade, pour it into little vials afterwards, and then be like, this is my piss. It's $500.
She just gets off stage and has a trench coat of just vials.
Yeah,
like piss.
Fuck it.
I got a little shit left over from the last show.
Yeah, you might as well, dude. Make all the money from the. If you're gonna be a dork who's like horny and weird, they're gonna be a dork that's horny and weird whether you take their money or not.
True, that's true. And
so,
they're gonna jerk off to you no matter what. Too, I learned because I never knew people.
How did you learn this?
Sometimes people jerk off on Instagram, and I didn't know that. And one comic came up to me once, like earlier, like in my comedy career, which was like a half a year ago. Anyway, he was like, "Hey, you know, guys are like jerking off your photos, right?" And I was like, "No," and he was like, "Yeah, you should like go look to see if people are saving some of them." And I was like, I went and looked, and then just like the ratio of saves was like through the roof.
Oh, I didn't even realize you can look at specific saves.
You can
I guess.
Like
I wonder now
ones.
with that Instagram Plus thing, though. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
So there's a thing called Instagram Plus where I hate that it exists, but it's like you pay some like however much per month or whatever,
Mhm.
and you can see who watches your shit. You can like see really specific details.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What?
So I think like the level of detail you can see about people who like watch your stories, like you can get that for everything.
Oh no.
Yeah. But
Good
it's
to
like
know. Good
but
to
it's
know.
like $10 a month or something. Yeah, you can like see who's watching your videos. You can see who's like
What?
who's saving it and shit like that.
That's so crazy. I did not know that. It's good to know.
Yeah, I think it's like new.
Fuck.
Scary.
I hope I don't get caught being weird.
Yeah.
I hope no one
Yeah, I
catches
felt the
me
same way
being
when I was like,
weird.
"Oh fuck,
I don't think I've done anything
Hopefully it doesn't
weird.
apply to anything like retroactively.
Yeah.
Like somebody can't be like, "Oh, this guy was obsessed with me 7 years ago," you know? Like,
Oh my god.
yeah.
So crazy. It's so scary, but good
Yeah,
to
it's
know.
a lot. Well, it's because the reason I was thinking about it is this girl that that I know that she became a headliner. She had a picture from like years before she like blew up of her dog, and really small on the dog's collar, you could see her phone number,
No.
and they found it. You know, like it wasn't like a constant thing. It was like one person, but it was like,
Oh my god.
oh fuck, what?
So like
That's
her
so
tits were out in the
scary.
reflection.
No,
No,
that
I
would. I mean, that'd be kind of on her
I
at that
knew
point.
you were going to say that because I was thinking that today.
Yeah.
And I never had that thought until right before you got here. And I was looking at her collar and I was like, does it have the phone number like
Yeah,
visible?
it was such a fucking weird thing.
Weird.
Because like with her it happened like really fast, and then like
Yeah.
immediately somebody was like, yeah, she was like, hey, I saw this on your number on Instagram. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh my god, that's so scary. I need to look through my shit.
Yeah.
Well, it's been so fun having you on.
Thank you.
I love,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I love all the stuff you're doing. I love Banana Phone. I love the character stuff you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have anything you want to plug before we end?
Go see Banana Phone on Sundays and watch us on YouTube and stuff, and then on Nick Cox Comedy on Instagram. Come see me do stand up.
Follow him, and I'd love to have you on a future Big Natural show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week.
Bye. Don't be horny and weird.